Impeachment trial of suspended Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton continues this Thursday. Let's take a live look inside the Senate chamber, where apparently senators are taking a break at this time. But just moments ago, the defense called its first witness on the stand, Justin Gordon. He is the chief of the Open Records Division of the Attorney General's office. KVUE's Ford Sanders continues covering this trial for us from the state capitol. And Ford, Gordon oversaw the request for information Nate Paul sent to the AG's office.
He did, Jenny, and House managers say that Attorney General Ken Paxton misused public records laws by giving Nate Paul sealed law enforcement documents. But Gordon's testimony today has already countered that claim. But we're going to go ahead and take a step back, because yesterday was filled with unexpected twists. Laura Olson, the woman Paxton was having an affair with, was called to the stand Wednesday morning, but wasn't eligible to testify until the afternoon. Around 5 p.m., Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick announced Olson was present but unavailable to testify. KVUE News learned she planned to plead the fifth, so both sides agreed to release her. Shortly after that, the prosecution rested its case, and Paxton's attorneys filed a motion to throw the whole case out, arguing the prosecution didn't present enough evidence to prove its case. That motion was eventually withdrawn, and that brings us to Gordon's testimony. He told the jurors documents were released to Paul because DPS missed a key deadline to stop the release of information.
I want to make sure we all understand what your testimony has been here today. So we had the first request to TSSB in the fall of 2019. Was any information disclosed to Nate Paul as a result of OAG's ruling?
No.
Then we move on to the big request to DPS in the spring of 2020. Was any information released to Nate Paul as a result of that ruling?
No.
And then we get to this third request.
Gordon's testimony actually speaks directly, to impeachment articles 3 and 4. And earlier this week, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said he expects both sides to rest today.
And Ford, when both sides rest, what is the next step?
Absolutely, Jenny. But we're looking at the process right now. So once they rest, well, each side's going to have an hour to rebuttal and present their rebuttal evidence. After that, they're each going to get an hour for closing statements. That's when this whole case is going to be handed over to the jury, which are the senators right here, and they will rule. They have to decide to vote on all 16 articles, those 16 articles of impeachment. It's going to take a 2/3 majority to convict Paxton. Reminder, that is 21 votes. Jenny.
All right, Ford Sanders reporting live for us from the state capitol. Thank you so much. Now, former President Donald Trump also weighing in on Ken Paxton's impeachment trial. His social media post stated in part, quote, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton was easily reelected last November, but now establishment rhinos are trying to undo that election with a shameful impeachment of him, end quote. And as a reminder, we've been airing this trial live since it started last week, and you can watch it live right now on KVUE+. KVUE's managing editor of political content, Ashley Godot, and senior reporter Tony Plahetsky are bringing you gavel-to-gavel coverage plus in-depth analysis. So download KVUE+ for free on your Roku, Apple TV, or Fire TV device.